Hello everyone, so today we're going to be working on LeetCode 88, Merge Sorted Array. So we are tasked with taking two arrays, nums1 and nums2, and we're going to have them sorted in non-descending order. So we're going to merge them, and then we are going to have them in non-descending order. All of the elements are going to be in nums1 rather than trying to return an array with all the sorted numbers inside of it. Okay, so nums1 is going to have a couple of slots at the end of it that all are zeros that are the space for nums2. Okay, we also get m and n, which represents how many elements are inside of each array. And then nums1 is going to be, both arrays' lengths added together. So 3 and 3, we're going to have 6 slots in here. Okay, so if we look at some of the other examples, if there's no zeros inside of nums1, then that means nums2 doesn't have any elements inside of it. And again, if there's just a 0 inside of here, that just means there's a single slot for nums2. Okay? So let's look at a little diagram here. So the way that this is going to end up happening is we are going to make a pointer for index 1, which is going to point the end of nums1 array, and an index 2, which will point to the end of the nums2 array. Okay? And lastly, we're going to have I, which is going to point to the various indexes inside of the nums1 array. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make some simple comparisons of, okay, is 3 greater than 6? No, it's not. So we're going to put the larger number in the index of wherever I is pointing at. Only if the number is bigger is coming from nums of 2. So let's say if 3 was bigger in this case, we would actually swap the 3 and the 0, because the zeros are representing empty spaces inside of the array. So if we come down here, again, 3 is not greater than 5, so we put 5 inside of here. Alright? And whenever we do use one of these numbers in here, we move the index down. So we've already used 6, so we're at 5, and now down here we've used both of these. So now we're pointing at 2. So this is the first instance of the nums1 array being greater than the nums2 array's value. So what we do, like I said, is rather than just replacing it, we are going to swap 3 and 0. So up here you can see 3 and 0, and these two end up getting swapped with each other down here. Okay? So then we have 2 and 2, so it doesn't matter which one we use. So we're going to use the 2 from nums2 array, and that replaces the 0. We decrement it, and now it's at -1, so we're outside of the nums2 array bound, so we're going to break out of it. Right, so we're going to say we're not supposed to return anything out of this, so if n is equal to 0, we just return. Alright. Now, we're going to go about creating these different pointers that we have in here. Pointing here, here, and then here. So this is going to be I inside of a for loop though. Alright, so we're going to say let index 1 is equal to m minus 1 and index 2 is equal to n minus 1. All right, cool. So now we're going to make a for loop, and the for loop is going to start at the end of nums1. So it's going to be at the last element. As long as I is greater than or equal to 0, we're going to decrement. All right, lovely. So we're going to create a temporary variable just in case we have to switch between these. So I'm going to say const temp is equal to nums1 of I. And then we're going to create these if statements. So if nums1, index 1, is greater than nums2 of index 2, we're going to do this. Else, we'll perform this code block. All right, and before we jump into that, at the very end, if index of 2 is less than 0, we can just break out of the loop. All right, we don't have to do anything further. Okay, so inside of here, we're going to say, all right, nums1 is greater than nums2 at that index. So we're going to say nums1 of I is equal to nums1 of index 1. All right, so that's going to replace the value inside of nums1 with whatever index this is. Then we're going to say nums1 of index 1 is equal to the temp, and then we're going to decrement index of 1 by 1. And we actually can just take this temp and put it inside of this if statement. All right, cool. Because we don't need this temp inside of this else. So if nums1 is not greater than nums2, then we're going to say nums1 of I is equal to nums2 of index 2. And then we decrement index 2. Okay, and that's all there is to it. So if we submit our code, very good, very good. All right, so I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it allows you to have a better understanding of this question and what goes into it. Yeah, if you have a better solution, leave a comment below. Let's have a conversation about it. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.